Our lives are in their hands.
Fed up with the county's response to the pandemic, Valley Assemblyman Dr. Joaquin Arambula demanding answers. Why is Arambula pushing for specific community-based organizations to receive CARES Act money from the county? The Assemblyman will join me exclusively.
The county has been completely transparent through this whole process.
Is the county providing that transparency when it comes to COVID-19? County Supervisor Nathan Maxick firing back, why he says Assemblyman Arambula is out of line and needs to go back to Sacramento. And our panel is set to weigh in this week from a new federal lawsuit filed against the state to reopen schools to should the county be audited for how they are handling federal COVID funds. It's all on KC24, Sunday Morning Matters.
Now, from your local election headquarters, KC24, this is Sunday Morning Matters with your host, Alexan Balakian.
And good Sunday morning. I'm Alexan Balakian. Thank you for joining us, and please join the conversation at Real Alexan. Use the hashtag Sunday Morning Matters. Along the way, the CEO of the Center for American Liberty, Harmeet Dillon, and the federal lawsuit she filed against the state to reopen schools. But first, the political slugfest over Fresno County's response to COVID-19. The war of words between County Supervisor Nathan Maxick and Valley Assemblyman Dr. Joaquin Arambula came to a boiling point on Friday, July 17th. But this started 2 days before. Arambula sent a letter to the county voicing his concerns over the spread of the virus in the county and what he calls a lack of transparency in distributing the federal CARES funds to community-based organizations. The county accused Arambula of politicizing and grandstanding in the hallway of the Hall of Records, even saying Arambula's staff and the Fresno Bee has not published all the footage from that July 17th encounter. Arambula stating to KC24 earlier this week he will no longer engage in the back and forth over that confrontation. The Valley Assemblyman demanding answers, transparency, and more urgency from county supervisors. He joins us now, Dr. Joaquin Arambula. Welcome back to Sunday Morning Matters. How are you, sir?
Doing wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Well, I want to begin with this, something that just recently happened. You did have a social media town hall, and none of the supervisors were on it, but I want to get your sense of what you were able to accomplish and what was still the most pressing concern that is being expressed to you.
We heard from Dolores Huerta the need for a call to action. I have a theory on the virus that became quite clear through our town hall, and that is that an urgency needs to be brought to this situation to combat this virus head on. The virus itself is a fire. We, the people, are fuel, and we have an opportunity to starve the fire if we can practice social distancing, wear a mask, and to wash our hands. I believe our hearing, our town hall, was an opportunity for us to have the public heard and to discuss best practices, to hear from other counties, ways in which we can improve the outcomes that we are seeing within our community. I was quite proud to have a diverse group of people and would encourage people to follow up on my Facebook link so that they can watch the town hall. It's incredibly informative and will help to shape the direction that we can take as a county going forward.
You know, Doctor and Assemblyman, one of the big concerns here is farm workers, low-income citizens. You mentioned this many times here in the Central Valley. They are considered the high risk for the pandemic here. Why hasn't the county and the state been able to offer these disadvantaged communities and workers the resources they need?
Well, I would remind community that the county was wired federal CARES Act dollars in April. And here we are in the middle of July and still are questioning if we have mobile testing in our rural communities. For our farm working communities who are going to work before the sun rises, who are working in our fields and toiling in our packing houses, I think it's important for us to meet them where they're at, and believe that the town hall we held today shared some of those best practices, and hope that the Board of Supervisors are able to listen, learn, and change the way our county has engaged with our farm worker community.
You know, Supervisor Nathan Maxick has said we are being transparent. The county is going through an accounting process for handing out the CARES Act funds. Do you believe what they're saying, or you still don't believe what they're saying?
I would encourage members of the public to judge for themselves. Allow yourselves to watch the July 7th Board of Supervisors meeting and ask yourselves whether or not the transparency with how our dollars are being spent is there. The CAO says he's presenting squishy numbers, his words, and we, the community, have questions about how our taxpayer dollars are being spent. And I think it's fair that we demand transparency to ensure that there's a public process that these dollars can be effective and efficiently used to combat this virus.
You know, you are looking to help more than a dozen local community-based organizations to receive some of that CARES Act funding that you are talking about. What is the reason you're being given that they haven't given that money so far?
The CBOs and nonprofits who I'm aware of are our trusted partners within community. They help us to deliver education and outreach and should be involved in contact tracing right now. Thus far, the county is not engaged in a contract with them, and I struggle over 100 days into this pandemic to wonder where the urgency is to engage in contracts to ensure that our community is able to have the resources that we need.
You know, there's been some criticism here, and I want to get your response, that one of the CBOs that your brother Diego is involved with, Go Public Schools Fresno, that is one of the organizations you're trying to help out. What is your take if they say that's a conflict of interest? There's some criticism there. What's your response?
Quite simply, I would say that my brother Diego last worked for Go Fresno Public Schools in August of 2018. And I would share that he left the Leadership Council in June of this year and has no direct relationship or authority with the decision-making that goes on currently with Go Fresno Public Schools.
You know, obviously, Nathan Magsig, and I don't want to rehash all the encounter that happened last Friday, but I do want to say this. He said something where he said, go back to Sacramento and have the governor ease up some of those state restrictions so that the county can do their job. What's your response to that? As even State Senator Andres Borges said, they've been left in the dark in trying to get some answers and some direction in where the governor is going. Do you feel the same way?
I don't want to engage in back and forth or descriptions of events. I feel that that distracts us from addressing the pandemic of the century in COVID-19 and believe we have a responsibility to ask our public servants and elected leaders what they are doing to make sure we are meeting this moment. I always believe that we can do better, and that is the spirit with which I went, to make sure that we are all in this together and that we all have a voice in how our taxpayer dollars are being spent.
Do you have an open line of communication with the county now?
Just yesterday, we had extended an invite to the supervisors to invite Supervisor Mendez to invite him to our town hall. I will continue to extend an olive branch to make sure that they are aware of the best practices that are occurring within our community. But I do believe that as a lifelong constituent here in Fresno County, that it's important for us to ask our elected leaders to serve our community. And when I went this last Friday, what I saw were people sitting on the dais who were unable to answer our questions, who wouldn't come out from behind their closed doors. And I think we should ask more of our elected leaders. I believe we need to have a public process so we can have a public discussion to understand what Supervisor Mendez and the Board of Supervisors intend to do to protect our county's health. Our lives are in their hands. It is their responsibility to ensure that our taxpayer dollars are being spent effectively, and I believe we need better answers than we are currently getting from the Board of Supervisors.
Dr. Joaquin Arambula, Assemblyman, we appreciate your time here on Sunday Morning Matters. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up, firing back. Fresno County Supervisor Nathan Magsig responds to the Assemblyman's accusation that they don't have enough urgency in the fight against the pandemic.